Okay, it was 1968 during the Tet Offensive. We were on red alert, which means our base camp was definitely getting hit. And in our base camp there was a orphanage, which we took care of little children. And one day we noticed that the orphanage was empty, so we knew the attack was imminent on the base. And that night we came under rocket attack and mortar attack, small arms fire. So we took our positions along the perimeter of the base, and we exchanged fire. And what happened, I got hit with a piece of shrapnel from a rocket. And we stayed at the night, firing, returned fire. And in daylight we had to go out and patrol to count the casualties and see if any of our men were hurt. And a couple of Marines and I went out in the village, and we came upon a sight which I would never forget. It was our base barber. He was an NVA regular, and this guy used to cut our hair in the base. And we found out he was a VC regular, just taking positions and reporting to their men. And one night in particular, we got hit with the enemy fire with rockets, and we were in our bunkers. And after the attack, we had to go out and check our huts and stuff. And one of the huts was blown up, and this friend of mine, we came to Vietnam together, and we had about 12 days to go before we would go home. And his hut happened to get hit with a rocket. And when we went to, go through the hut, we pulled him out, and he had no head. He was dead. And a couple of the other guys were wounded heavily. And we brought him to the med station, and they took care of him. And that was my most experience in Vietnam. My wife and I, during the Vietnam War, we used to exchange cassette tapes to one another. And one night in particular, I was in my bunker recording her, talking to her. And all of a sudden we got hit with the rocket and mortar fire. And you could hear the helicopters coming and shooting. And you hear people running along we used to have pallets down, because we were stationed at a place called Red Beach. And we used to have pallets down on the floor to make like a path. And you could hear the guy's footsteps running to get to cover. And in particular, one man was calling for a medic, so I guess he was wounded. And I still have that on tape. And one of the things I brought back from Vietnam with me is Agent Orange. I'm infected with Agent Orange. That's one thing I brought back with me, and that caused diabetes. And I have type 2 diabetes. That's what it is.